I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to focus everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. The sun in my eyes.
Hello everyone and welcome to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, located in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, for today's running of the GSL 115 on this beautiful 10-turn road course. And I'm here with Captain, and we are looking forward to bringing you round number 12 of 15, just 3 races to go after today of POG Series Season 3. What are you looking forward to today?
I'm looking forward to seeing what these drivers can do on this road course. Last year, we saw a little bit of a mixture of mechanical failures, some hard charging by a particular Canadian, and they race side by side. So I'm looking for a bit of the same today. Definitely want to see how that hometown boy is going to do today.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and look at some pre-race storylines. Jordan in the number 57 Discount Tire Dodge scored his second career victory and first since Season 1 last weekend in Atlanta. He comes into this race having just cracked into the top 10 in points, and he looks to keep a hard charge towards the front here towards the end of the season. Dael in the AC Delco number 3 is the defending winner of this race from last season. He charged from a little deeper in the field up to the lead late and ran away with it. Let's see if he can go back-to-back in Canada. Vuko in the number 45 Blue Jays Mercedes ran really well in this race last year, and he, being from Canada, would like nothing more than to have a good run here in his hometown. We don't know where he's going to start today, but hopefully he can charge to the front of the field like he did here last year, and this time he won't burn up his equipment. Keep an eye on the number 45 today. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get him qualified here for the GSL 115 here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Engines have fired here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, and now to Captain for your top 10 starters here in the GSL 115.
All right, on pole is number 17 of Mike Council. To his outside, the number 7 of Fish, who was running very well here last year, before he had an engine failure. Third is Season 2 champion Taco. To his outside, the number 71 of Dago, who was your winner at Michigan. Fifth is the number 19 of Adam Irish, your all-star winner. Sixth is number 72 of Ant, last year's Atlanta winner. Seventh is number 27 of Creasum. He was your Iowa winner. Eighth is number 4 of David Garcia. Ninth is number 26 of Captain. And in 10th is the hometown boy, Vuko, in that beautiful Toronto Blue Jays car.
Sir. Pace car leads this field here around this, I believe it's what, 2.4 miles, I want to say, is how long this racetrack is.
That
10
seems
turns.
close enough. 10 turns, though, yes. Including that long straightaway down that back.
Yes, the Mario Andretti straightaway. Fearsomely long. A lot of our championship contenders starting deep in the field here for today's race, including Pirate in last. Remember, he was on pole for Watkins Glen, not the car that they need underneath him today. Soggy starts back in 29th, I believe.
Yep, he's back there as well. And, Dael is also back there. Just not a good day in general for Pirate Motorsports qualifying-wise. They just did not have it, which is so weird because that 3 car was the winner last time they were here, and Pirate's been on such a good run lately. So
2 rows up from the back. Look at those B&M teammates that got into it last week. Balto and Alondo starting on the same
oh yeah,
row.
they are starting side by side after what they went through last week. Oh, that's funny.
Field works their way up that long Andretti straightaway here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Then once they get to the top of that, they'll head for turn number 8. And then only 2 more corners before the green flag.
And you gotta watch that last turn. Those last 2 turns, that's where Dael was able to set up his pass last year and be able to get into the lead, which eventually led him all the way to the checkered flag here at Canadian Tire. It's a momentum sort of racetrack with a little bit of technical skill, so you got to keep that speed up and you got to set up your corners. And we'll have to see who can do it today. Council starting on pole is going to have a good shot at it.
Council needs a good run. He's had a lot of trouble over the last few weeks. Finished 28th last weekend in Atlanta and currently finds himself, let me look over at my sheet here. 31st in points, 429 back of the points lead. But that is all one way or another. Council leads him through turn number 10. Here they come off the final corner. Green flag is out here at Canadian Tire.
What a jump for Fish on that
gets
outside.
A good start. He wants to be a GSL car and lead the first lap of their namesake race down into turn number 1.
Ooh, well, side by side. Oh, he's
now
got the inside now, though.
Downhill corner here in turn 2.
He's going to do it. Not maybe.
He's trying to get through, not quite through Clayton's corner, headed for turn number 3, Quebec corner here at Canadian Tire. They're still side by side for the race lead. Council not giving it up. He looks like he might be clear.
There he is, clear.
Yes, he is. Just barely able to clear Fish as they head through 4. Now, this is turn 4, and now they head for turns 5A, B, and C. A very tight complex of corners right here. Especially this one. Very slow through that corner. Be careful not to get off track. We saw a lot of that last year. Drivers dipping 2 tires off into the dirt.
Everybody seems to keep it straight for now.
And Pirate's still marooned back in 35th place. He's our closest guy to the points leader, as Taco's been able to get around Fish, and now Ant is on the attack.
Taco has just had not the season, like, at all, but had a good run last week and is now running second here today. Might be seeing a little bit of a resurgence out of this number 50.
God knows he needs it currently 29th in points, as lap 1 goes to Mike Council and that number 17 U-Haul Chevrolet. You see this field snake their way around this road course. So a bit of a breakaway after the top 2, and then it's hard charging back to the rest of the field. You see that 67 of Chris Lattimore up there in front of these guys. He had a career week last weekend in Atlanta. He finished 4th in the race, and his previous best finish until that day was 19th. Only once had he ever cracked the top 20 in his career, and then he got a top 5 run last week. So he's looking for more today. He's chasing down the Canadian right now.
He's currently running 12th, so he's doing a good job already. Just needs to keep it clean.
Field mostly single-filed out here as you see Kreesum on the attack. He's underneath Captain in that 26 right now, and now to his outside as they head up the long end ready straightaway. This is one of the best passing zones in the racetrack. Get a good draft up this straightaway and then fire yourself down into turn number 8 and hope that whoever you're outside of or inside of gives you the room.
It's also a great place to lose spots because, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of guys would dip their tires off in the dirt coming out of that turn and just would not get the momentum up that straightaway and just lose all of their momentum.
Pirate looks like he's starting to get the ship rolling. He's up a few spots, but he's still got quite a few, and he needs to catch that 29. So Council still leads. Second is Taco, third is Amp. Fish settles in 4th place, and Dega 5th.
That's Bucco trying
Here's
to crack
Bucco.
his way into the top 10. Started on 10th,
get past
seemed to
that
be
4.
lost 10th, but he's trying to get back to it, and then there's Lattimore behind him.
I think the 0-8 of Adam Garcia might be holding these guys up a little bit. Kreesum was able to get around him as well and is driven away. Captain in there in line.
Captain
then they
seems to be
see stacked
struggling
up.
a little bit because he was up there battling with Kreesum, and now he's behind the 08. So both of those cars, the 08 and the 26, might be struggling a little bit right now, holding up this entire line.
That 0-8, no sponsors on the hood of that thing for the 2nd week in a row as Sean's on the attack underneath his ski as they head up the straightaway. One driver that's going to be paying very close attention to this race right now is Brent in that Built Bar number 22, up in front of these guys a little bit. He's only got one car between himself, one car between himself and Soggy, that one car being Julia, and he is trying to mount a charge for this championship. He's minus 130 in third place right now, and he's got to hope for some bad luck on the side of the 29 car, some good luck in his direction in order to have a shot at it. Soggy's been a tough customer all season long, and he's still holding on to a points lead. He's plus 58 over Pirate, who runs very deep in the field as we speak.
Absolutely, and you know, he's been very consistent, Soggy has, this entire season. And he had a little bit of a hiccup last week in Atlanta. But other than that, he's had a very spotless record, and he's just gathered so many points. Does not have a win yet this season, even though he had 2 last year. But just been so consistent. So, you know, hoping for a little bit of bad luck out of that 29 is not something that happens all that often.
We can all hope, though. Well, not to wish any bad luck on Soggy at all. Certainly not. He's had a great season. Has a little bit of a bumper, that looks like, between the GSL teammates. Creasum lays it to Fish and is able to move around him up into the, I believe that's the 6th spot, actually.
Creasum has been on a move. Ant now
started a little
going
deeper
for second.
Ant, the winner at Atlanta last year.
That was tight.
Looks underneath the 50 of Taco. So put Ant through to second place in the Genshin Impact number 72 Chevrolet as they come through 10. Irish currently sits 11th in points. He might be a driver to watch here. He's been strong on road courses in his career, and he's running up there in the top 5 today. But right now they're all chasing down that 17 of Mike Council.
Oh, caution
flag is out. Who has lost the field? Has anyone lost the field?
I don't see any sort of damage. The 77 and the 80 are out due to an accident.
Jerry Chen are out in a crash. This is huge for the points. Oh no.
Oh, that is huge. Pirate was the closest competitor to Soggy, only 58 points back, as you mentioned, and he's now out with an incident with Jerry Chen.
He will finish 34th. We'll go ahead and look back and see if we can find out what happened to the 77 and the 80. Keeping an eye on Pirate, and that number 77 came into this race second in points. At the time of the incident, was running in 31st. It's the 77 and the 80. They make contact. Oh, Pirate cleaned out Jerry Chen and took himself with him.
Both with significant damage, and yeah, both of their days are done after that. Got to wonder if Pirate was just trying to charge through the field so hard and just got into the 80 there.
He doesn't have time to waste. He knew he had to either go or go home, and it cost him his day.
Absolutely.
Lights out atop the Dodge Charger pace car here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Lap number 6 of 26, and man, oh man, big championship implications with the 77 of Pirate crashing out of this race from second in points. Soggy licking his chops. Brent licking his chops. Everybody looking for a way to catch that number 29. Still a tall task, but certainly more possible for those trapped behind the 77 now.
Absolutely, and Soggy and Brent and Garth, all of them have been able to move up from their starting position, so having a better job. And then got to talk about that 72 in second right there, 7th in points right now. Certainly a threat.
David Garcia as well, not having a terrible run whatsoever. He could look to gain some positions here. Off turn 10, green flag back in the air here at Canadian Tire, and Mike Council with another great jump. And
he learned from that. Mike learned from that initial restart. David was able to get a little bit of a jump on him. He was able to get it back, but Fish almost got that lead. And so he learned from that time.
Vuko caught the 26 of Captain sleeping on the restart and cleared him out of the first set of corners. He's through up into that 10th spot right now. He's trying to chase down the number 4 and his teammates.
And Lattimore might move along with him. That 26 has been struggling so far today.
Good breath of life from the 67 car as well. We talked about him earlier and that good run that he had in Atlanta. He looks like he's just gliding. Said that the 4th place finish that he earned in Atlanta felt like a win to him. Certainly happy to see him get that run as Taco's starting to close in a little bit, but the 17 pulls away just a little bit here on the straightaway.
Irish into 4th.
Irish has had a quiet season. Ever since he won the All-Star race, he hasn't really had too much to talk about, been involved in accidents here and there, has been relatively inconsistent, but sits 11th in points right now, certainly one to watch. Paco closer to the 17 than he's been all day, along with the 72. We'll see if Council drives away again. Still looking for his first career victory as Mike Council.
Got a good drive off that time out of 10. And look at the gap he's gotten on that 50. That's what this track is, just trying to set up your pass and set up the corners, trying to get that drive off and drive away from the guy behind you.
Mentioned Council looking for his first career win. The 6 cars in his mirror have all taken a POG Cup Series checkered flag of some sort in their careers, all the way back down to the 7 of Fish.
Yeah, Fish still looking for his first career win. He's been close, but just hasn't been able to get there.
He's been about as close as anybody can get. Side by side with teammate Kerry Rogers at Daytona in Season 2. Didn't get the nod in that race. Started on the front row here today, but has fallen back pretty hard. He's going to look for a way back towards the front, and that's one way to do it, looking underneath the 27 of Creason. Teammate, don't think that's going to work out for him.
Nah, Creason got the better bite off that corner, and he's going to carry that speed through.
Lattimore all over the back bumper of Patton back there. That's for 11th spot.
Looking to the inside. If he can get there by the time they get to this corner, he might have it.
He's looking.
No. Shut the door.
Love this from him. Wage war, shut the door. Up through turns 9.
Great album.
Or turn 8 and 9. Irish closing in on the back bumper of the 72 now as they race up towards the front of the field. And Daga trying to come with them as well, the Michigan winner. You see the field fly by here.
Soggy has passed Brent.
Soggy has gotten around Brent. The pride of Great Bend, Kansas has the red mist descending in his helmet right now. He needs to get that 29.
I mean, he's just staring at that back bumper. You know he's seething, just trying to get to it. Oh, he's close.
He's trying to get to him. You know he'll try to move him if he can. That's just Brent's brand. And then the 2 winners from Watkins Glen in Seasons 2 and 3 running there behind him, Mello and Raz. Ski looked low on Julia. Nothing there. Dove back in line. Rogers underneath Nate. Nate, another driver high up in the points. Currently sits 6th. Trying to find a way to stay ahead of that 29. Brent falling way back.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to have the drive off the corners that Soggy does. Soggy is just driven away from him.
He's one of the hardest chargers we've seen so far today, as he's now on the attack of the 98. But you got to think, we saw right at that section on the racetrack, we saw Pirate get into it with Jerry Chen. Got to be careful about where you make your moves.
Definitely got to be careful with how you charge through this field.
Trumpet and that number 12, nothing to smile about since his win at Talladega. Currently runs back there, and I think that's 33rd spot.
Yes.
32nd.
Yeah, 32nd. About to be 33rd.
About to be passed by Alondo as D&M Racing bookmarks the field beginning to end, first and last on track. Trumpet's not had a lot to smile about. Finished 34th last week, and now he runs at the back again this week. But back up at the front. Starting to space out a little bit here. Everything's calmed down just very slightly. Soggy unable to get past the 98 that time. That allows Brent to drive it in hard in the corner and try to run him down.
He tried to get that
two
bumper.
spot. If you make a poorly timed move out of 5B as you head up onto the back straightaway here, that could be the make or break moment. You could really ruin your momentum as you head up the straightaway if you get a bad exit to 5. Looks like that might have been
looking on the
Rogers.
quarter panel.
Rogers looks like he might have gotten off 5B a little bit rough, and that's now holding up the 29. That's let Brent close right back in.
That's exactly what Brent wants. He just needs a window, and Brent's going to go for it.
In there behind him, Mello in the 1. Both Honda drivers sitting back there right behind that number 29. As they are approaching halfway here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Brent trying the outside on the 29. Focusing on this battle, as this is the battle for the points lead at the moment. They may be far apart, but if anything happens to this 29, Brent is going to be the first guy to pounce, considering Pirate has already crashed out of this race and will come home 34th. Brent might need to make some of his own luck, and you know he wants to.
Oh, yeah, if there's anyone in this field that wants to, it's that number 22.
He'd love nothing more than to get into the back of the 29 and cause his day to end prematurely. Nobody in front of the 29 here, so unlikely that he'll get a bad exit to turn 5.
Oh, but Brent will.
Brent goes way wide. Both
ran it
Hondas
way
do.
too hard.
Northrop on the attack. He sent it. Lost a lot of ground, though.
And that's what you got. That's what we were just talking about with trying to charge through this course. You got to be careful. It's so easy to just go a little bit too hard and get into another competitor like Pirate did, or run off the track like Brent did there. You got to watch it. Mello's losing spots on
Mello
that
a little
outside.
bit wide. 47 Master is inside. They bang doors as they head into turn 9. Raz, Ricochet, Jordan, last week's winner, not having a good race. NCD back there, and then the battle for the mid-off between Alondo and Trumpet for last on track. Council up front having a field day right now.
You're having an absolute great day, which has not seen the speed out of that 17 that, you know, this is the first time we've seen this kind of speed.
Out of him last year. He was one of the most frequent upfront starters of last season, but hasn't really been able to rekindle that magic this year.
No, but out front right now and looks to have the fastest car, so
Taco sliding into the corner, trying. He runs wide. That's going to let Ant have a shot at him as they head down the back straightaway.
Oh, and Ant's going to keep that run going. There he goes.
Here comes Ant to the inside of Taco.
This happened on that last run, too. Ant was eventually able to get by Taco. It seems like he might have a better long-run car, which at the road courses is probably the better setup. Oh, Taco squeezed him there on the entry.
Ooh, almost more contact as they headed into turn number 9. Through 10 here, though. Ant should be able to clear him.
There he goes.
He does. So Ant back up through to second, Taco back to third, Irish runs fourth, and fifth is the 71 Adega. I mentioned earlier how I thought Adam Garcia might have been holding up the field a little bit. That doesn't seem to be the case as he's driven away from the 7th place car of Prism, settled comfortably in 6th right now. He's got 4 cars right out there in his windshield.
Might have gotten that caution flag and was able to cool his stuff down, reset, and go back at it. Maybe he was just, you know, overdriving a little bit. But yeah, definitely doesn't seem to be holding the field up at all right now.
Fierce battle back there for, I believe that's 10th place. That's Captain underneath the 4, David Garcia, as Vuko moved up into 9th spot. And Lattimore is hoping to pass all of them.
Yeah, Lattimore
top
would
10.
Love nothing more than to get 2 top 10s back to back.
And with Trumpet running as poorly as he is in points, they're only separated by 20 points, are the 67 of Lattimore and the 12 of Trumpet. So as of right now, Lattimore is set to pass Trumpet in points and get out of the basement. Actually, he could get past Alondo as well. Alondo sits 33rd in points and is currently running back there with Trumpet.
Absolutely.
And Alondo is tied with Kerry Rogers, so Lattimore might be trying to get all of them here.
Yeah, if Lattimore could pass both of these guys, that's a couple more points, and he could definitely start passing some people.
Bad news for Lattimore is 31st in points is Mike Council, and he's out there leading every lap.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to see this young man running well. Back up front, Kreesum on the attack underneath the 71.
Dega's starting to fall back a little bit. He was right there behind Irish.
The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th cars were all right on top of one another, and now Adams moved up underneath the 71, and Kreesum is on the attack. They've spaced out a little bit towards the front of the field here as we've passed halfway through this race.
The Council just continues to drive away. I was wondering if Ant would be able to get past that number 50 and start to run down the 17, but he just hasn't as of yet. We'll see what the interval is when they come around this time, but he has not been able to run down that 17 yet.
Taco's been able to stick with him. Irish has lost his footing very slightly as Vuko's on the attack again, trying to move up into 8th spot. This car's starting to show a little bit of long run speed as the GSL cars run 7, 8, 9.
GSL having a good run today.
Kerry Rogers at the back of shot there, just came up onto the straightaway. I think Brent has actually somehow miraculously closed back in on the back bumper of the 29. He has. He's a little closer than he was.
Oh, but he's got Northrop to his inside.
Northrop was a wrecking ball last week. He's trying to take him on the outside. Not quite sure that's going to work, but he's going to be on the inside for the next set of corners. Not going to let the 99 clear him. It's good drive through there.
We've got pit stops. Including Council.
The whole front of the field is headed in. Several cars decide to stay out.
Kreesum's the first one that stayed out. Followed by Sean and
Kreesum
Julia.
will inherit the lead. Brent stays out, trying to jump that trying to hope for some bad luck on behalf of some of these other guys on pit road. Maybe slow stops, trapped in their pit boxes. This pit road is very tight.
Very tight and
Council
very
should easily
busy.
be able to... Easily, Council was able to retain the lead off pit road. Ant gets off second, Taco third behind the 7 of Fish. Irish is going to gain a couple of spots. And it looks like Vuko also gains a few as well. What's going to be interesting to see is how this works out for the drivers that did not pit. Those who stayed out. Hoping to have some sort of Kreisem is in an area code of his own right now.
Yeah, he is just trying to get as much speed as he can to try and come into the pits and then try and jump some people.
Assuming this is his in-lap, he's trying to have a huge in-lap. He needs it to gap the guys behind him so he can get in and out before they even have a chance to come close to him.
There he goes.
And into the pits goes the 27, Julia and Sean. Oh, side by side on pit entrance. All that looked a little sketchy. Sean trying to get as much as he could. Brent in as well. Everybody else that stayed out. There's Ricochet, Jordan, Neo, Trumpet. All coming in as Mike Council heads down the back straightaway. It's going to take a lot for these guys to stay in front of him, I reckon.
Man, Council is already almost at pit entry. Kreesem's going to have either some wicked strategy or a fast stop here. That 17 is just so fast.
Council off turn 10 is going to come around and start passing all of these guys. Kreesem just now exiting his box. I'm not sure. I think he will gain some spots. Actually, he might neutral out about where he was.
Oh, he's going to block Adam.
He's going to block Adam. Adam going to run all over the bumper of him. 3 Bolt Car friends right here.
And Brent comes out in front of Soggy.
Out in front of Soggy. Very good strategy by the 22 of Brent's able to jump him by about 4 or 5 spots. And he's going to have 1 lap pressure tires.
That's exactly what that 22 needed to do on that round of pit stops.
We'll see if Brent's tires is able to overcome Soggy's car.
Oh, and the mid-off is not really much of a mid-off anymore.
Alondo, you won.
Oh,
trouble. Sean is in the wall. Fish
Sean
as well.
is hit hard. The 7 as well.
1 car off through the grass. That's Garth in the 88. That's a points contender. Will that bring out the caution? You have to think it would.
Yep, caution flag is out. Oh, man.
Sean was clocked in 3rd place at the line last time by. Now Brent trying to hold off these guys. He needs to beat these guys back. Have
oh, man.
He and the 29. He's going to lose a spot to Raz. And probably Nate as well. Nate's going to get that inside drive. He cannot let Ski past him.
Oh, man. Will he lose a spot to Ski? Yes, he
will. So he's going to be 1
no.
spot ahead of the 29. Brent throws away 3 right before the caution flag gets taken by the leaders. Ooh, and maybe a stack up there. A little bit of debris on the racetrack. I don't see anybody damaged. Oh, it's Kerry Rogers. Oh. Damage for Brent, maybe. Looks like the front end of that 22 is all right. Nate's crunched in. Lattimore gets caught up in the stack up.
29 got hit in the rear.
The 37.
So the 22,
Brent also has a shortened up rear bumper. Guys not being able to see the cars in front of them as they crested that hill. They all ran over one another, stacking up at the caution car.
Yeah, they came
we'll go ahead
right
and look
over
back.
that hill.
We'll see what happened to that 40 of Sean and the 7 of Fish here to call the caution here on lap 17 of 26. All right, watching the number 40 Rockstar Ford, that's Sean as he comes off pit road. He was on the 2nd strategy, so all the other lead cars are getting around him. Looking for Fish. There he is. Fish comes into shot. Sean gets out ahead of him. It looks like he's relatively up to speed.
Take some tires off. Still all right.
All is clean so far. Fish clearly faster has caught him. Sean holding him up very slightly.
Oh, Fish was just
Sean,
a late dive.
Not quite clear. Kept trying to come down.
Oh!
Wasn't there. Ooh!
Oh, my Lord.
The end of the wall.
Oh, what an impact.
Riding on board with the number 7 Gatorade Mercedes of Fish as he's right in behind Sean. And that number 40 dives to the inside.
I don't know.
Looks like Fish might have run into him, and then Sean just kept coming down the entire... Oh, and Fish goes around as well. Looks like David Garcia got him in the stack-up. And all these positions lost. There goes Garth, maybe a little bit of contact, runs wide through 5C. The undoing of a race. All right. Coming back to the restart here on lap number 18 of 26. When they take the green flag, there will be just 8 laps to go in this race. 3 cars pit under that last caution. That was the cars that sustained damage. Nate in the 18, Ski in the 37, and Kerry Rogers in the 98. Does anyone have a chance to beat Mike Council? Now is the time to show it. Green flag back out at Canadian Tire, and once again, he is gone, but not quite as gone as he has been. And Taco on the attack right now, trying to be the one to make it happen.
If Taco wants
Irish
a shot
giving
at
him a
the
good push.
17, he needs to get clear of the 72. And that's not going to happen.
Adam Garcia doesn't know who to go with right now, as he's a little indecisive while making his lane choice. Vuko with a little bit of damage to the back bumper of the Blue Jays 45 has worked his way up here, running in there behind his teammate. Ant looks like he's going to drive through clear of the 50 again, so it's going to be Ant or Mike Council. I get you. It's not too hard for me to pick who to put my money on.
Yeah,
but we'll see if Ant has a shot to get there.
I don't know if you could bet against the 17 right now.
Soggy drives in hard on Kreesum. Taco washes up wide through 5C. Everybody on top of each other. Somehow Julia's found her way up into the top 10 in that hideous Squishmallow number 75.
She had good pit strategy there, and she's been able to capitalize on it. Going after
quite a few guys on pit road.
after Vuko now.
Back in the field, Brent and Soggy nose to tail. Brent has restarted right in front of this 29, and now Soggy is stalking him.
I mean, all over that back bumper, just staring at it.
The 29's been faster than the 22. We'll see what he's able to do here as Julia pushes past Vuko. Now Captain on the attack. The RJR cars assaulting the Canadian in his home turf. Garcia, Lattimore, Raz, all these guys with damaged rear bumpers from that stack up. Treason dips a couple tires off, as does Captain. Par for the course here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
You're just getting everything you can out of that corner.
Vuko is holding everybody up here as they head down towards turn 2. Through Quebec corner here. Ooh, a little closer to the 17 this time by, but Mike gets such good drive down this back straightaway.
Council still has to be careful there. He drove a bit wide, and those 2 tires in that grass can matter way more than just, dipping them off. You lose a lot of speed doing that.
Looking for somewhere to go. Adam Garcia has entered the top 5 for the first time today. Been running just outside it. Finally knocks his way into it as Captain and Julia teammates side by side for 8th place. And Vuko's gotten by both of them, actually.
This is going to be
the battle for 9th.
For 9th, yeah.
Somehow Vuko found his way back past both of these cars. Brent and Soggy right there at the tail end of the shot. Brent's almost certainly going to pass Pirate in points, but he needs something to happen to the 29 of Super Soggy in the closing laps of this race in order to gain some ground. With just 3 races to go after today, he needs something to start going his way if he's going to make a push for this championship.
Brent is 13th right now, which from where he started is great, but Soggy's 14th, so...
Which from where he started is even better.
Even better, yeah.
Ant keeping close to the tail end of the 17 here. This is the battle for the win. Just 5 laps to go here at Canadian Tire. Taco runs wide through that corner, lets Irish get close. But nobody has anything for that 17 yet. Up the long Andretti straightaway. Kreesum, Vuko running nose to tail right there. Julia losing several spots. Lattimore on the attack. And then the battle. Brent and Soggy. Who'd have thought the battle for 13th place would be one of the most important on the racetrack? Brent able to build a bit of a gap.
It's 1 spot between them, but still finishing in front of the points leader is a mental thing, as well as you're not just taking that 1 spot from him, it's technically 2 because you're swapped. So he still wants to finish in front of him, but he wishes Soggy was a little further back.
Brent asking Raz to do all that he can possibly do. JDM teammates, I suppose. Ant now starting to lose ground on the 17 of Council. Mike's just doing what he's been doing all day.
This car has just been dominant.
Has led every lap so far here at Canadian Tire. Shades of Raz at Watkins Glen. As Ant drives it in hard there, tries to gain back some ground.
Ooh, did a good job there. Didn't lose as much time.
Drives away down the back straightaway again.
Freeze him. Looking on Dago.
Or, sorry, yes, that's looking on Dago, not losing the spot. My apologies to freeze him. Trying to find a way that's around that Skull Candy 71.
It'll be 4 to go this time at the line. It certainly looks like Council is driving away and is going to have it, but you just got to not, you can't make a mistake this late in the race.
And of course, from this point on, if anything were to happen, odds are the race would be over.
They've been looking to get the race restarted with about 2 laps only, so maybe, but yeah, this late in the race, you can never count on it, so definitely need to get what you get.
67 of Lattimore, put some sort of meat shield between he and Soggy.
Absolutely, that's what the 22 needed to do. So that puts Brent in 12th now.
Brent didn't get the run he was wishing for last year or last week, but certainly better than it should have been. Was involved in an early crash, sustained some damage, repaired it, and then just kind of ran at the tail end of the draft for the entire rest of the day. Wound up coming home 15th on a day where Soggy struggled. But Soggy, even with a DNF, when Soggy was involved in a crash with Julia, still managed to finish 24th, so not the worst day in the world. But still, points out that's some ground loss that he had. He had almost a 100-point lead at one point this season. Now just 58 points over Pirate, who will finish in 34th today. So really your competitor is Brent in that 22.
Ooh, and starting to close the gap.
And has gained some ground on the 17 of Mike Council. They're coming around to see, what is it going to be, 3 laps to go?
3 to go this time.
You need to be perfect. If you're Ant, you need to be perfect. Ant currently minus 175 in 7th place in points right now. So a win would be enormous. He would definitely insert himself into this championship battle if he was able to score the win.
Win would be big for both of these guys. Council still looking for his first career win. Ant winner last year, looking for his first win this season. And like you said, 7th in points. 175 back. That seems like a lot, but when you win a race and it's going to be 180 points, that's a lot, and that helps a lot. So it would be big for both of these guys. We'll have to see who could get it done.
5 stories in the top 5. Mike Council looking for his first career victory as Ant looks to his inside.
Oh, he's looking.
That's the first challenge Mike's had all day. Ant looking to insert himself into a championship battle. Taco looking to right this awful season. Sitting back there in 4th, Adam Irish trying to win this race and gain his first points victory. Won the All-Star race earlier this year, and Adam Garcia back there trying to become the first multi-time winner in Season 3. Suddenly, the tables have turned for Mike Council. There is a car that might be better. Ant has come on strong late. Cannot let Taco get a run to the inside. If you have to start battling Taco, your race is over. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, he definitely needs to stay in front of this 50. If this 50 gets to his inside or outside, that's going to allow the 17 to just drive away. So he needs to stay in front of that 50, but also keep running down that 17. Oh, man, that headspace.
With this being said, if the 50 is able to get around the 72 quickly, he could maybe Taco could go up and try to steal this victory.
That is true as well.
But right now, doesn't matter. You got to get to the 17.
Here we go. This is where he gained all that corner last time.
All 3 of them run wide. That brings Irish right back up to their back bumpers.
So pretty even. That means it's all going to come down to the white flag.
Top 5 have broken away. Up the long Andretti straightaway once more. Vuko up into 7th place. Good run for him today. Brent running back there in 12th. Raz on the attack of Soggy trying to find
Raz is starting to mount a run on Soggy. This could be another point for Brent.
Up through turn 10. leaders face the white flag. Council's going to lead him to it. He's led every lap today. Ant, it's right out your windshield. He's got to try to get him. 5 cars under a blanket for the lead back to Dega. Through turn 1 for the final time. Council gets a good exit. Drives away just a little bit.
This 10-turn road course is going to come down to one corner. It's how you set up off of turn 5 and get the run to it, get the run off of it, and carry it all the way to the straightaway. And Ant's losing a little bit of ground right now.
Through Quebec corner, turn 3 as they head for 4. This long looping corner here at this Canadian road course. Now they head for Moss Corner, the complex, the 3-corner complex, 5A, 5B, and 5C. Right here is where the race will be won or lost.
Oh, a great corner by Mike.
A great angle through it for Mike Council. Taco falls back into the clutches of Adam Irish. Now up the long Mario Andretti straightaway for the final time here at Canadian Tire. A battle for about 10th spot back there, Julia and David Garcia. But at the front, it is still all Mike Council. Through 7, up into 8.
Not
just
a chance.
2 corners to go. Through the S's into turn number 9. Just 1 corner between him and his first victory. Through White's corner, turn 10. And as he comes off of it, Mike Council will score his first career victory in the POG Series. Mike Council wins the GSL 115. Ant runs a resilient second. Irish gets by Taco for 3rd at the line. Taco 4th. 5th will be the 08 of Adam Garcia. 6th will be the 71 of Dega. 7th, a good run for the Canadian in his home track. Foucault runs 7th. His teammate Kreesum in the 27 runs 8th. Captain starts the race in 9th and finishes there. And 2 RJR cars. Julia rounds out the top 10 in that number 75. Brent was able to finish back there in 12th spot. 13th for Lattimore and 14th for Soggy. It might just be a couple of points, but everything counts right now, especially on a day where Pirates struggle.
Absolutely. And gotta talk about Mike Council. He not only first career win, what a perfect race. He led every
lap. He ran a perfect race.
I only ever saw 2 mistakes out of this number 17. That initial start where Fish almost got by him, and then he slipped up a little bit there with what was that, 2 to 3 laps ago, and Ant almost got to his back bumper. But other than that, an absolute perfect race for his first career win. Congrats to that number 17 team.
Certainly don't want to discredit Kreesum. Kreesum did lead 1 lap on pit stops.
Oh, however, that is right.
Mike Council absolutely to the field today. We'll go ahead and take a look at what this all does to the point standings. Thank you for tuning in to the GSL 115 here from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Congratulations to Mike Council and that whole B&M racing team and that 17 crew on scoring their first career victory here in the POG Cup Series. You will not want to miss next time when the Cup Series heads to Bristol for the NCD Designs Brawl at Bristol. Until that time comes, I'm Jordan here along with Catton. We will catch you next time.